We're back. Now, I found the information. Website, stackyourdollars.com. How much is 30,000 an hour? Assuming you work 40 hours every single week of the year, 52 weeks, you will be working 2,080 hours per year. This will mean that a salary of 30,000 a year is $14.42 an hour. 30,000 per year breaks down to $14.42 an hour, $115 a day, $576 per week, bi-weekly, $1,153.84. This is before taxes. However, after taxes, 3,000 will be reduced to 23,000, down to 23,800 to 25,700 per year, depending on the state that you live in. Your total take-home paycheck would be a weekly paycheck of $457.69 to $494, bi-weekly $915.38 to $988.46, with a monthly of $1,900 to $2,141. So you do bi-weekly. This ain't even including benefits.
Yeah.
This is just take-home pay after taxes and Medicare and all that. But the average rent is $923. And that's probably for okay apartment. I mean, you ain't living. This is like,
this is not a good area.
Colonial Valley or whatever. The SKS outside. You get the SKS every now and then, going out. But, and that's one check. Really, if you're not bringing $988 home, even if you brought $988 home, that's still without benefits. You just talking about straight on money. That's only $60 left that you got to make to the next 2 weeks. Gas, food, and whatever else. And that's if you're single. And we're not talking about if you're married. We're talking about if you're single.
And this, right now, we're not talking about living in abundance. We're not talking about vacations. We're not talking about happiness right now. We're talking about survival.
Yes. Survival.
Like, those are survival questions.
Like fresh ham. Like, you go to the store, you get like maybe 3 or 4 things. A loaf of bread, lunch meat, and some Tampico juice. And they may last you a week.
Yeah.
Now, what if you overeat? You gotta ration it out. I can only eat 2 sandwiches a day.
That's why I'm like, how the heck are some of these people poor and they still fat? This should be the best diet ever. Like, stuff that don't make sense.
Oh.
I'm like, dude.
But it's what they eat though, man.
I mean, that's another one too.
Yeah.
I mean, just because they, I don't know, I'm not gonna.
I mean, instead of buying salads, like some people don't realize, like if you really, you don't want to do it. Some people don't want to do that, but $5 or $10 can buy you a meal. You just have to cook it. A lot of people don't want to cook it. They don't want to stand over the stove. They don't want to boil the eggs. They don't want to cut the baby spinach. They don't want to make them a salad. They want it right now. They want to go get it right now. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if the average rent is $923, and if you're making $30,000, you bringing home $988 is the best you're gonna bring home after taxes, and the average rent is $923. How does that work without being stressed?
Elon Musk said, "Go make more money."
Yeah, some people say some people want to make less money is less stress. What's less stress with the average rent $923? And you only bring home $988. You got $60 left. And you got to make it to 2 weeks. That's an ACT question.
Yeah,
if your rent is $923 and you bringing home $988 and you have $60-something left, how do you make it for 2 weeks? That's an ACT question, man.
Yeah, that's
I mean, how do you do that and not be feel some kind of stress like this?
And that's what we're saying. With stress like that, and you're having to do budgets like that, you're very creative. You're very talented. You're very resourceful, and you need to use those skills to try to get you in a better position to make more money because you have resiliency, creativity. You have skills, and you need to try to maximize them when you're making that kind of money, and you're making things happen.
Now, what am I saying? Am I trying to beat people up? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is,
it's kind of sound like
if you level up your skill set and get out of this range, you can get 20 years from now. Tell me if you agree with me or not. 20 years from now, maybe even 10, 40,000 is gonna feel like you're making 15,000 a year. Build a new house. You think it's almost what, 300 grand to build a new house?
Yeah,
maybe more.
The space.
I'm talking about the inflation. You remember back then, you could build a new house. What, 5-10 years ago, 120. That's a great deal. Yeah, that's a brand spanking new house for 120.
I remember when my uncle bought a house. It was like 74,000 in this really good neighborhood. Yeah. I remember we lived in an apartment. We could never think of affording to live in that neighborhood. Yeah. Now I'm like, now as an adult, I'm like, man, I wish my house was $74,000.
Exactly.
Especially in that neighborhood. Yeah. I'll take that old house.
Think about it now. Back then, houses in Southwest wasn't expensive like that. Now they're starting to get to the triple digits if you're in a good area. But if that goes up, that means everything else is going to be even higher the more you get out of Southwest, when you go over the red line and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So if you're not being able to keep up with that, how can you afford to live with inflation if you stay within that range? That's all I'm saying.
Could you imagine really being like 25,000 is the new homeless?
Man. But if you're not living with somebody, y'all can just kind of make ends meet. It kind of is though. 25,000. If you bring home $988, and that's 30,000. Think about 25,000 after taxes. That's all I'm saying.
Another thing, that's what I was just looking at. There was what you actually brought home was closer to 23 to 25.
No.
On the bottom part with the take home pay. So I just kind of
that's a year. 23,000.
The new 20. Yeah,
that's after taxes on 30 though. This is like if you
but I was still saying, like you're saying, in 10 to 20 years, that's basically gonna be homeless.
Man, that's crazy. And if you don't keep up with it, like I said, this whole junk.
And you can't keep up with. Honestly, the thing is, you gotta be ahead of this stuff. I'm a really simple dude, you know what I mean? But you gotta stay ahead of this because staying anywhere close to that,
really in 10 years, 50,000 probably gonna be middle class. If that.
Yeah, pretty much. Man, I'm sorry. That's 50 is middle class.
But see, people roasted me on Facebook. They was thinking that 40 is enough. I'm like, for what?
No.
I'm talking about just paying your bills and having enough money to take your family somewhere.
No, when you look at when you look at the class, a lot of times we feel like because we're doing good and we're not poor that we're middle class. No, that's still really close to poverty.
Yeah, you one situation away from being wiped out. Yeah.
Now, you can choose your car, your home, and stuff like that, and live comfortably at 40. But when you look at the income tiers, you're still in low.
I want to look that over 40 too.
No, the classes is when you're talking about the classes, that's still basically considered low income.
People were telling me that some people will do that and it's less stress. That's you can live off of that. Yeah, if you're single. But man, if you're trying to raise a family, even if you're single, you still are going to the cost of living, man, will eat that up, whatever you have left after taxes.
But it's still lifestyle choices and things like that.
Yeah,
and budgetary issues and things like that.
You have to be disciplined. You have to be so disciplined, to execute, to live on that and not be stressed. Because how many people can really stay disciplined? Like, you know what?
Well, evidently a lot. Like, no, evidently a lot. So? Because it's a lot of people that are under 40, that are 40,000. There's a lot of people that are under 30.
But if you could ask them, are they happy with it? How many people would say they are happy with it?
I mean, I don't know anybody who's happy with 100,000. They're just saying, oh man, this is my way.
I think they go back to the perception game though. The perception thing though. But I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about living lavish. I'm talking about like paying bills.
I don't think.
And having money left over. When they say you should save money, having money left over to save and be able to do something like take your family on a vacation.
Well, you're saying with 40 you wouldn't be able to, but if they're at 20 or at 30, and they say, well, if I had 40, I would. And then if you're at a 40, at 50, you'll say, well, if I had 100, if I was at 100, I'd have money to save over.
Okay, so here, if you get paid on a bi-weekly basis as a full-time employee, you'd have $1,300 per bi-weekly paycheck in after-tax income. This is not including benefits. This is not including other stuff, daycare. If you got kids, not including that. If the average rent is $923 and all you have is $1,300.
And this is at 40.
11, 12, 13. Simple math. 11, 12, 13. $300 now.
That's for one chick, though. I mean, I remember being in a situation where, it's going to take one of my chicks and part of another one to get my rent.
As an adult, you can burn $100 just on gas going to work.
I went to Walmart. Yeah, but you have just enough to control those.
You can burn $150 in groceries if you're not taking the calculator in there with you, just picking those stuff, throwing it in the basket. You'll run through. Bro, I went grocery shopping the other day and I spent it was $90, man. It was $70, $80, somewhere in there, $70, $90 just like that. And it wasn't even a lot of stuff.
We didn't even buy any budget. That
is. I just bought milk, cereal, eggs.
That's what the emotion said, but I'm pretty sure you bought more than that.
No, I didn't. I actually stayed within the script. It was milk, cereal, eggs. Because I've been eating salads lately. I hadn't been eating a lot of, and I only put boiled eggs on there. I don't really eat. I hadn't been eating.
You boil your own eggs?
Yes. I boil my own eggs. I make my own stuff.
I'm not boiling my own eggs.
Why? How would you buy? How would you buy
pre-boiled.
How do you buy pre-boiled eggs?
They sell pre-boiled eggs.
Oh.
Everybody sells eggs already boiled.
How do you buy how does it stay preserved?
I mean, they put it in a little bag. It's a little Ziploc bag, and they got 6 or 8 in there.
But you save money if you buy $8 and you can buy a big old box of eggs.
How much is a big box of eggs? $3?
No, I'm talking about if you buy the box
the crate.
Yeah, the crate.
$5?
I think it was 7 or 8. Inflation, man.
What's the eggs? Are you buying egg-beater eggs?
No. I'm talking about eggs that you have to crack. That you have to actually.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Those you get a big old box of eggs. Though. I mean, you're talking about 60, almost 80 eggs, something like that.
Yeah, but it's a chicken life really.
But what I'm saying is, $300 as an adult left over after all your bills is paid. If you pay your rent, you got $300. We're not talking about utilities. If you got to pay lights, water, gas.
That's where we get.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. The average light bill, we think about $60, $70.
Yeah.
So you got $30. You got $230 left. And then how you think the average water bill is?
But we're still talking about for one check. You still got a whole other check.
That's what I'm saying.
So
what if you got a car note now?
You
got $1,300. Okay, another next check, $1,300. So now you got, what's the average car note? $500?
I feel like that went up so much.
So, if you had a new truck, $700, that's probably being conservative. That's still taking away from that $1,300 though.
Yeah, that's stuff started getting real.
That still ain't including utilities.
Yeah.
That's just your rent and car note. Your rent, if it's $900 plus your car note, if it's $700, that's what, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, $1,600.
Yeah, that's looking bad for y'all, man.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying regular living. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're single, you really have to be disciplined. You can make it, but you ain't gonna be driving the newest car. You're gonna be driving probably a cash car if you're smart.
Yeah.
You're being worried about perception. You got unrealistic expectations. They want to keep up with the Joneses. I just want to look good. I just want to be the best.